What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is how to get the black and white art effect in Photoshop. So let's do that immediately. First of all, create a black and white adjustment layer. So go ahead, black and white adjustment layer, and then let's close it. Take your brush tool, make sure the foreground color is white and black, and make the foreground color black because the mask is white. So I'm going to select or clean the black and white from the air quickly. And now, because the background is white or kind of milk color, it's not actually going to show when I'm erasing it. So if you have a different background, make sure to use other tools. Like if the background is blue or some other color, so you are going to change the way you are going to select the scarf or the hair tie. So let me turn this back on, and after selecting that, I'm going to do the earring as well. I'm going to hit X on the keyboard to exchange this black and white layer. So go ahead, zoom in, and then I'm going to erase. Make sure the effect does not fall on the skin and something like that. Okay, so now we're going to return, and let's turn it off, and you can see that the lips is this color, but let's leave it like that first of all, and go into the black and white, and I'm going to go straight to the yellows. I'm going to bring it down and bring the red down a little bit. So let's go to select this one, the layer, and then select selective color, create a selective color adjustment layer, go to the blacks and bring up the blacks just a little, and go to the red cyan, increase the cyan. So I'm still going to copy the marks. So hold Alt, drag the marks and put it on top the layer and say replace layer. Yes. Okay, so go back to the layer and then increase from the neutral, increase the black, do something like this, and then increase the cyan, decrease the magenta. Go back to the neutral and let's increase it a little bit more. Go to the blacks, let's increase it a little bit, yeah, to get this effect. Okay, so the cyan, I'm going to take it up, and then go to the red. So let's increase these to create more contrast. Okay, so one more adjustment, which is the curve. I'm going to create the curves, and I'm going to bring it down just like that. Okay, so let's create just like an X curve, and then I'm going to close it. Let's hold down Alt to drag the mask over this and replace it, create yes, and then I'm going to select all and group them together. Now this is where the interesting part of the photo editing of the effect is created. So we're going to be using the solid color adjustment. So just create a solid color adjustment layer, pick any color, just click OK. Now turn it off, and then double click on the color again and select the color from our face. On this time I'm going to select a very saturated color, which is this one, and then I'm going to select it, and it's going to bring up the color range we selected. Click OK. Now turn it back on, invert, Ctrl I to invert, grab your brush tool and then do any design you want to do. For this one I'm going to draw the map of Africa, so let's zoom in and draw the map of Africa. I don't know how the map of Africa is, but I'm just going to try and draw the map of Africa just like this. I'm going to draw it over a face, so something like this, and then here we go. So if you don't like the way it is, just draw something. So let me undo that and do it again. So I think make it look real, yeah, and so you can just follow the contour. So let's just say this is map of Africa on her face. Now I'm going to make the brush bigger, and then I'm going to paint over our skin like that. Let's sharpen the brush, make it harder a little bit, and then paint over it. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, so there we go with the shape. And now let's change the blending mode to overlay, and so we have it like this. So you can see the color affects the face with the overlay. And let's find a sweet one. You can use soft light, but it's going to be too light. You can also use color, so whichever one you use, but I just prefer overlay over the rest just because it makes it, you know, pop out. Now let's remove the effect from the eyes, because there's no way you can paint the eyes like that. So increase and then remove it from the eyes. It's X to make sure the foreground color is black, because black hides. So let's remove. Ctrl Z. I'm just going to remove it from the eyes alone. So just like this. Let's just remove the effect from the eyes. Alright, so now I'm going to create another one, and that will be for the eyelashes. So let's create as if we're creating two color, or let's do it like this. Let's create the curve, and I'm going to clip it. Let's clip it to this layer and then drag it down. So I'm dragging it all the way down. So we have that. I'm going to create another one, another curve, and I'm going to drag it real down. Let's clip it to that layer, and so like that. And now I'm going to invert it, Ctrl I to invert the mask, and let's grab our brush tool and let's zoom in. So the edge, let's make it X to change the foreground color to white, and let's make the effect like this. So I'm going to drag it and then drag it like this. Okay, and so just follow up to something like this, and we could decrease the opacity, or let's go back inside and make it just small, a little, just like that, and we're good. Okay, so now let's create another one. So I'm going to group these two together to make things organized. Ctrl Z. With this one, group it together. Let's create another one, another solid color adjustment layer, and it's okay. Close it, and then let's pick the color from the face, from the scarf, which is this one, and then it's okay. Turn it back on, invert the mask, and I'm going to use it to create eyelashes, to paint this part of our eyes. So let's go ahead, make the foreground color white, and then decrease the size of the brush, and I'm going to paint it on her eyes like this. So we're using the same blending mode, just like that. Okay, we're just trying something, you know, new, and we're gonna do it like that as well, and like this. So I'm gonna be fast about it, same as this. Let's just do something interesting. Now change the blending mode to same thing, overlay, and so there we have it. You can as well drag it out if you like, so something like this. And then let's go ahead to create a very fine, you know, lipstick for her. So go ahead, solid color again, just pick any other color, turn this off, and let's select color from the face. I'm going to use the red this time. Double click, select the red color, and then there we go. It's okay. Turn it back on, invert the mask, Ctrl I, and let's paint over the lips. So increase the size of the brush, and then here we go by painting over the lips. So make sure it's not falling on the gum or on our teeth, sorry to say. So I'm going to increase and draw on our lips. It's X, and let's remove it from this side. Let's see, it's X, and paint. So something like this should be good. I'm gonna hit X to remove it from this side. Alright, so let's say let's add to this side. Now once we change it to overlay as well, and then here we have it. You can try out new different ones. You can use color, You can use screen, you can use soft light and overlay. But let's see overlay. Let's zoom out and see the one that works fine with it. So go ahead, choose no color, select this and choose color. Okay, I guess color works fine, so let's use color instead, and let's see where we are missing it out. So I'm going to remove it from this particular places. So hit X on the keyboard to change, and then let's remove it from the top and fine tune what we have. Hit X and paint, and so yeah, we go with it. Okay, so this looks fine now. Now we still have to do some other places, so let's group these two together, group them together. We're going to create another one, solid color adjustment, and it's okay on the keyboard. Turn it off and invert, Control I. So let's do one more on a pick, double click and pick another color range. Let's say we want to use this orange, this yellow.